let's start with raising our hands. So raise your hands if after this event you're going to go home and rest your head on a comfy pillow. Amazing. So this is pretty much all of us. So there are high chances that your pillow is filled with polyester, which is basically plastic. It can take 500 years for that pillow to decompose. Shockingly, it is longer than the lifespan of many civilizations. And for all the men out here who like to think in terms of Roman Empire, 500 years is about the same lifespan of the Roman Empire. Debatable, okay? So, but this talk isn't about Roman Empire, it's about recycling. Textile recycling in general, and it is an innovation we cannot afford to ignore. So let's talk about recycling. I'm bad with this mic. All right, cool. So what is recycling? If I'm honest, it's a pretty loose term. So some celebrities who rewear their dresses call it recycling. Some stores that resold the clothes, they call it recycling. And some waste management companies who produce energy by burning trash also call it recycling. So I don't want to be pedantic here, but what I mean by recycling is turning our old clothes into new fibers so the textile industry can use it into anything, turning furniture stuffing or making new t-shirts out of it. All right. So let me demonstrate the benefits of textile recycling with an example. This is Proximo from Gladiators. Maybe this talk is about Roman Empire, but we'll see. All right. So Proximo here is, let's say, he's wearing head to toe 10 kilos of 100% cotton. And he lives a very tough life. You know, he trains gladiators, so his uniform kind of gets worn out very quickly. So Proximo comes to me and asks for, he asked, what can I do with my old uniform? All right. So this is a bit of self-promotion, but yeah. So coming back, I introduced him to Macrinus. He is a businessman. He has a lot of side hustles. One of his side hustles is to turn textiles into stuffing for pillows. You know, in ancient Rome, it is a luxury to import cotton from the Far East. All right, cool. So as a result of Proximo, Macrinus, and my actions, two things will happen. First, Proximo avoided sending the rope, that 10 kg rope, into incinerator where it could have produced 5 kilograms of carbon emission. And Macrinus avoided production of 10 kilograms of new virgin fibers. That would have resulted another 20 kilograms of carbon emissions. So all in all, they saved 25 kilograms of carbon emissions. So this is the story of gladiators from the past. Now let's come back to the present. Every year in the UK alone, we incinerate 700,000 tons of textiles. That's after everything that we have sent to Ghana, Pakistan, and everything. That's residual, non-rewearable textiles. And when we incinerate it, we produce 300,000 tons of carbon emissions in the UK. And if we were to stop incinerating that and replace it for, say, polyester, virgin polyester, we'd save 4 million tons of carbon emissions just for the UK. So recycling isn't about avoiding landfills or incinerators. It's about replacing high emission virgin fibers. So recently, last week, I watched this documentary called Stop Buying, Buy Now, The Shopping Conspiracy, and it claimed that recycling doesn't work. And honestly, I get it, right? It's easy to feel that way because only 9% of the plastic ever produced has been recycled, and less than 1% of our textiles are recycled each year. So I get that. But the problem is the innovation gap. Recycling does work, but the problem is that the governments for decades and the private sector has underfunded the entire value chain of textiles and end-of-life workers. So what has happened is 50 years ago, landfills did make sense because waste would break down naturally. And then came plastic, this magical, indestructible material at huge volumes. So landfills were out of order. We ran out of space. So what did we do next? We started incinerating it. And that was the solution. But now we know the cost of incineration. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so we know the cost of incineration. Burning trash is as bad as producing energy from coal. So it's easy to feel that recycling doesn't work. But here's another story. I love movies, so I saw another movie last week, which is called Joy. It was about the invention of IVF. When the idea of creating life outside a woman's body was first proposed, many people said it's impossible scientifically, morally, and even socially. But someone in Cambridge believed it could work. It took a decade of failures and skepticism before the first IVF baby was born. Now 10 million babies owe their existence to that persistence. And here's the truth. Recycling works. It's just that it's not visible enough. Just this year at Eslando, we connected 10 tons of textile waste with the right recyclers and avoided 200,000 kilograms of carbon emissions, which is equivalent to removing 50 cars off the road for a year. We are connected with 50 partners recycling old textiles into new fibers. They're pioneering their way, and we're so incredibly honored to be working with them. So now, what do we need? Is that we have to understand that waste is worth billions. The global fiber market is currently $260 billion, and due to the upcoming regulations, the demand for recycled fibers is going to skyrocket to 13 times the current supply. So what do we need is you, people, smart people, passionate people, people willing to invest, people willing to innovate and take risks. Because when we bridge the gap, we fund the right technologies, the recycling will work and we will see a changed world. And for all the men who are itching to tell me that I'm wrong about the Roman Empire, what I bloody mean is that plastics take a very long time to decompose and it's not going to go anywhere. Thank you.